Lego Transformers Rise of the Beast Optimus Primal.
Nice.
Yo, let's go. Okay, and here we have Optimus Primal in his beast mode. Yo, and not for nothing, bro really got that mean mug going right now. Now, portraying emotion within Lego faces is actually really hard to do, but the one trick that I use is adding a piece that represents the eyebrows of the face so that I can make my builds look angry, happy, or sad.
Oh.
Now, Optimus Primal here is coming in at a measly 12-hour build time. OD, bro said that joint is measly. Yes, because on average, my Lego Transformer builds take about 25 to 35 hours. A big part of that time cut was because Optimus Primal's transformation is really not complex at all. Like, bro literally just bends over.
Hey, yo.
Yo, like, come on. You know what I'm talking about right now, bro. Like, come on.
Got it.
Man. Anyway, for those of you that are not 5 years old, if you're interested in sharing your Lego mocks with other builders or just connecting with other Lego builders, you should definitely pop into my Lego Mech Facebook page. And on top of that, if you really enjoy the content that I make on this channel and just want to go above and beyond, then you could consider becoming a channel member for $5 a month. And the perks that come with that are, you get a shout out in every video so that people know that you're a supporter and Patreon of the channel, and you get express access to all of my content before it hits any platform.
Wow.
Okay, and now let's get back into the review. Now, as for his weaponry, Optimus Primal here has got the dual blades. And not only do they connect to his forearms here, they also connect to his upper back. And quite honestly, I like them on his back just as much as I like them on his forearms. Now, as for a size comparison, Optimus Primal here is coming in at a little over 6 inches. I'd give him about 6.3 to be exact. And overall, the articulation isn't too bad in this mode either. We've got a little bit of head movement up and down and left and right. His head is actually on a ball joint accompanied by a couple of hinge and lock pieces. We've got a lot of movement in his hind legs here, and that's really just because he has to stand up for his robot mode. So I had to make sure he had a large range of motion in his back legs here. One thing that I really do wish though was that he was able to hold that pose on his hind legs when he's upright and has his chest out. As for his arms right here, he's got a decent amount of articulation. They can move forward and back. And lastly, for the articulation, I really like how the hands came out because they're actually like legitimate gorilla hands, where Primal here is actually balancing on his knuckles and his hands actually have fingers and thumbs. Now, if you guys are interested in seeing any more of my Lego mocks from Transformers Rise of the Beast, I'm gonna leave the link to my Lego Transformers Scourge and my Lego Transformers Optimus Prime at the end of this video. Okay, and now, I think it's about that time. I think it's about time we turned up.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Okay, and we back. Now, Optimus Primal here is coming in at a good 9 inches in his robot mode. Now, one of the things that really cut down on the time that I spent designing this build was I actually already had the head made. Huh? What I mean by that is the head is actually a reused head from one of my older builds. Believe it or not, this is actually a slightly modified, recolored version of my TLK Optimus Prime's head.
Oh.
Luckily, they have really similar head sculpts and really small eyes, so all I really had to change was just the shape of the horns here that stick out from the sides of their head. Now, as for the kibble, it's there, but it's really not too uncontrolled at all. It's just kind of like a backpack that sits on his upper back. And this backpack here really just contains the head, which is right here in the middle, and a bunch of flaps on the side here which cover his limbs in his gorilla mode. Now, in all honesty, this build is actually really stable. Like, the stand is actually just to stop him from tipping backwards, but the overall structure and integrity of the build itself is intact. Now, before we get into the weaponry, I feel like I should let you guys know the voting polls are open again. We got R.O.T.B Mirage.
What?
We got Bumblebee movie Soundwave. And lastly, we got Bumblebee movie Megatron. So y'all better get your votes in. I'm gonna leave the link to the poll as a pinned comment in the comment section. Now, as for Primal's weapons here, he's got the dual blades which are connected by the chain, and they can of course be sported without the chain and look just as cool. Another option is to have them attached to the back of his wrist, so they're like forearm blades, and they can also tab into each other to create that giant singular blade that he has. Now, as for his articulation, pretty much all of the movement from his beast mode just carries over into his robot mode. So just like the beast mode gorilla head, the secondary head here is also on a ball joint, which allows it to move up and down and left and right. We've also got a decent amount of movement in the legs. They can move forward at the thigh here, however they cannot move back due to the kibble which hinders them from the back section there. There's some movement in the kneecaps, they can move backward, and even his feet and toes have some movement. And lastly, he's got a decent amount of movement in his arms here. The shoulders can move up and down and have a good amount of rotation. The biceps also have a good amount of rotation as they're on ball joints, as well as the forearms. And the hands can of course rotate 360 at the wrists and have movable fingers. Now, before we get into the piece count, let me know in the comments who you think is cooler, Mirage or Bumblebee.